Hurricane Helene devastated many of our communities almost 6 months ago. The storm barreled through the upstate and the mountains, leaving behind a catastrophic trail. In the wake of the devastation, we have heard stories of heartbreak, but also stories of heroes who stepped up to rebuild. Fox Carolina is bringing you 1 hour of special coverage, sharing those inspiring stories of hope. Healing from Helene premieres March 27th right here on Fox Carolina. And we have Catie Bussman here, Fox Carolina executive producer. Welcome. I know you prefer to not be on camera.
Yes, I'm usually behind the camera, but I am in front of it this time to talk to you about our 1 hour special dedicated to the Helene recovery.
Well, a lot's going on here. In this 1 hour special, you're featuring all kinds of stories from our communities. Talk a little bit about the process, what it's been like putting it all together.
Yeah, so as journalists, as you know, we're used to just kind of going. For us with this coverage, it was really important to take a step back and listen to the communities and everyone that we felt had something to share with us. We reached out to a lot of different organizations, a lot of different just neighbors to kind of say, hey, this is what we're thinking for our coverage. Do you have anything that you think needs to be shared? And the feedback that we got was just enormous, and we're so thankful for that. And because of that, we've been able to put together this 1 hour special and bring some more inspiring stories. And obviously some of them are very difficult. We've spoken to families who lost loved ones, and those were very hard to hear, but all of them feature kind of an element of hope, showing that together we can overcome and push through it.
Yeah, you talk about the stories of loss and heartbreak, but these stories of heroes, you get goosebumps thinking about some of the heroes who stepped up to help, and these are the stories that really drove you to want to create this special presentation. Was there any story in particular that stands out?
Yeah, so we knew we wanted to do something for the 6-month anniversary of Helene, and that's when the special airs is on that 6-month date. But we didn't really know what that looked like at first. So, we kind of landed on this idea of, well, maybe we'll tell the stories that haven't ever been told. And so I reached out to, a school district in Buncombe County, and I was like, hey, this is what we're thinking. And the spokesperson for that school district was like, well, I have a school bus driver with us that evacuated 47 people in a school bus. And that was it was so incredible. So you'll hear that story. Another one that really stood out to me was actually in the Converse Heights neighborhood of Spartanburg. So of course, when you think of the devastation from Helene, you think of the mountains, and that makes perfect sense. The mountains, suffered a lot, but in the upstate we did too, and especially in Spartanburg County. That neighborhood that you were looking at right now is in the Converse Heights area. Saw an insane amount of flooding, like several feet of flooding, even inside their homes. It got up to, I think, 6 or 7 feet in some of the houses there. And that the man that you'll see in the story, you'll hear from several neighbors. One of them had a canoe and used his canoe to paddle to the end of his street and rescue several of his elderly neighbors who have some health conditions and would not have been able to make it out without his help. So he truly saved those neighbors. That's him right there with his canoe the day of the storm. And we spoke to several people on that street who really said that, and that he, quite frankly, is the reason they're alive through his heroism. And that was so powerful to hear, and I'm so thankful that all of those neighbors, including the man with the canoe, was willing to speak with us and share that story, because you can still see a lot of the heartbreak in them and losing their homes. Everyone on that street was okay, but their homes, some of them are total losses, and really just want to express the gratitude to them for sharing that with us.
And to be able to highlight these stories of heroism, I mean, people just sprang out. They didn't have a plan to necessarily do, but they did the right thing. And so many times, we're hearing those stories. Viewers watching this special are going to see an element of hope, right? What do you hope they take from it?
I hope that, everyone watching kind of sees that communities really came together to step up and help one another. That was, no matter where we were, whether we were in Swannanoa or Asheville or Spartanburg or Greenville taping these stories, that was the message that we heard from everyone, was just the awe of how all of our communities came together. And that's what we wanted to share with our viewers. And something too I want to say is that this special is it's not the finale, it's just the beginning of sharing those stories. And we'll have a way, if you're watching and you think, well, one of our neighbors really stepped up and helped, we'll have a way that you can share those stories with us, and then we can share them with you. So that's kind of the goal moving forward as well is we're not stopping sharing these hopeful stories. We want to keep it going.
So much to document and share. We can't wait to see it. Catie, thank you so much. We appreciate it. I know a lot of hard work going into this. Healing from Helene, a Fox Carolina special presentation, premieres March 27th after the Braves game, airing on Fox Carolina. It'll also be streaming, available on streaming platforms and online. The Braves game is set to end around 7 p.m., so you'll be able to watch Healing from Helene right afterwards. It'll feature limited commercial interruption, too, thanks to our sponsor, Ingles. But if you do miss the premiere, we're airing it more than once. You can also watch it at the dates and times on your screen.